The grinning curse. The abandoned carnival stood in eerie silence under the pale moonlight. The rusted rides groaned in the wind, and the funhouse loomed like a gaping mouth, waiting for its next victims. Kevin and Jake stood at the entrance, their flashlights flickering. "You sure about this?" Jake muttered. Kevin smirked, nudging his friend. "Come on, dude, it's just an old carnival. You scared of some broken mirrors?" Jake hesitated. He had heard the stories about the people who went in and never came out. The stories of the clown who made people smile before they vanished. But Kevin was already stepping inside, and he wasn't about to be left alone. The second they crossed the threshold, the temperature shifted. The air was thick, humid, like standing near a boiling pot of water. The funhouse mirrors lined the hallway, but something was off. The reflections weren't normal. Kevin noticed first his reflection wasn't copying him. It stood still, grinning, too wide. "Dude," Kevin whispered, nudging Jake. "Look at the mirrors." Jake's breath hitched. Their reflections were smiling, their lips stretching farther and farther, until their skin split open, revealing jagged, rotting teeth beneath. Crack! One of the mirrors shattered on its own, and from the broken glass a faint sound slithered into the room, a gurgling laugh. Kevin took a step back, his pulse racing. What the hell was that? The funhouse suddenly lurched, the floor tilting beneath them, throwing them forward. The sound of boiling water filled the air, louder, closer. Then a voice, deep, rasping, soaked in malice. "Welcome back." The lights flickered violently, and from the darkness ahead a tall, charred figure stepped forward. Its suit was blackened and melted into its flesh. Its long, skeletal fingers twitched as it reached toward them. But the worst part? Its grin. Wide, unnatural, stretching from ear to ear, splitting its burnt skin. Jake grabbed Kevin's arm. "Run!" They turned, but the hallway was gone. Behind them, the clown's laughter grew louder. Kevin and Jake sprinted through the twisting corridors, their panicked breaths echoing in the narrow space. But the fun house was shifting around them. The hallways stretched endlessly, doors vanished, and mirrors cracked as they ran past. The air grew thicker, almost suffocating, filled with the scent of something burnt. And beneath it all, a sound followed them. Drip, drip, hiss, like boiling water. Then the hallway abruptly ended. They stumbled into a vast, circular room. The floor was made of rotting wood, creaking beneath their weight. In the center, a massive pit of bubbling, scalding water. Steam rose from it in thick, ghostly tendrils, swirling through the air like unseen hands reaching out. The scent of burned flesh was overwhelming. Kevin gagged. "Dude, what is this?" Jake shook his head, stepping back. "I don't know, but we need to." A hand shot out of the steam, blackened, charred, twisted. It latched onto Kevin's shoulder. Kevin's body jerked violently as his head snapped back, his mouth stretching open unnaturally, his lips splitting apart in a grotesque grin. His voice came out as a strangled laugh, but his eyes were filled with pure terror. Jake lunged forward, trying to pull him free, but the clown rose from the steam, its empty black sockets locked onto Jake. It grinned wider. "Smile for me." Kevin let out a blood-curdling scream as his body was yanked backward, plunging into the boiling pit. The water churned violently, the surface bubbling with something thick and dark. Jake collapsed to his knees, his mind spinning. His best friend was gone. The clown tilted its head, stepping closer. "Don't be sad," it whispered. "You'll join him soon." The last thing Jake heard was the sound of boiling water and laughter. Subscribe if you don't want to be next.